Hello, this is Michael Rodriguez, and today on The Breakdown we're going to talk about how to build your range and be musical about it.
Hi, my name is Cameron.
Hey,
What's
Cameron.
your name?
Mike Rodriguez. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Mike.
Playing a cornet?
Yes.
What mark is that?
No idea.
No idea.
I got it from the school.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Let me just hear you play a C scale, just middle range. Okay, good. Now, I know we're sitting on stools, but let's try to get good posture.
Okay.
That's number one. You know, just in general, when you play the trumpet, you want to make sure you're sitting in optimal position or posture for our breathing. You got a good sound already, so we want to build off of that. What typically is your highest note?
Comfortably,
Yeah.
I can go to a high G. Anything past that, I kind of have to push.
Right on the staff, you mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me hear you play that. Okay, not bad. Is there something that you do to get you up to that G and back down?
I do lip slurs.
Lip
sometimes.
slurs, okay. They're great for not only, you know, tongue position and strengthening the muscles here, but also for our air. There's a great book that was written by Charles Collins, and it's a red book. It's called Charles Collins' Lip Flexibilities, and that book is one of the books that I worked on as a young student, and that has exercises that start off. And as you go through the book, they get longer and longer and longer. So it's really good for your air. So one of the things I would have you consider practicing is playing up to that high G, soft. You know, you want to be able to control what you have already at any volume. And then little by little, you can start increasing, you know, your A flat major scale. Let's see if you can do that. Play an A flat major scale. Okay, so when you get to that A flat, I want you to hold it and play it soft. So while you're playing it soft, you're building the muscles to hold. And always remember that you got to play from down here. There's this little area underneath your belly button that if you do a fake cough, you feel that contract, that muscle down there. So that muscle activates these muscles here, which help support the air as it's coming out. I always try to play from down there no matter what it is. If I'm just holding a note, I mean, I'm holding, that's tight down there, because that's really our support. You know who Bobby Shue is?
No.
Well, if you Google him, he's like a trumpet guru. A great teacher as well. I sat down with him and he taught me this. This has been gold for me. You know, making sure you play from here and keeping your corners tight. It's like the 3 points, because they all work together. They cannot work separate. What I'd like for you to practice is really nice and soft. Okay, and as you develop that note and it starts to come out as easy as your G, moving on up. But always soft, you know. You can even just do the arpeggio. You ever heard of pedal tones?
No.
That's the notes below the regular written notes of the trumpet. So here's the written note range of the trumpet. That low F sharp. Anything below that is considered a pedal tone. So I practice that every day. There's exercises that I do after I do my range exercise that I'll go downstairs, kind of like a recovery and a massage for the lips. I use the same fingerings. F, E. I don't use alternate fingers. I try to use the correct fingering because I feel like I'll benefit more from that. And really, that register down there is what sets up your embouchure for the upper register. Abby, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Mike. What grade are you in?
11th.
11th grade, junior. Awesome. How long you been playing trumpet?
Since 3rd grade.
Wow. What is your typical range?
I would
Limit.
say comfortably C's and D's
Okay.
above the staff.
Very good. Can you play something that maybe like a scale or a chromatic scale
Yeah.
up to that? Okay. So you got a big sound. Good. I want you to do it again, but now try to play it softer.
Okay.
Because that's how you can really begin to own a note if you can play it soft and control it. Okay. No,
Okay.
listen, that happens. That
Yeah.
still happens to me too sometimes.
Okay.
That's what it is that we're pressing too much. So then that stops the vibration. So you want to make sure that you're relaxing the
Yeah.
arms and not pressing so much, because that's your lips are here vibrating as you're going up. We're stopping the vibration. So we want to make sure that we're not doing that, number one, and kind of countering that pressure. There will be a little pressure,
Yeah.
but we want to counter that with our air. We could use our air, but it's really how if we use it in a very efficient and controlled way. You don't want to press too much, because then we're done. Okay. Well, the note is there, so we just
Yeah.
have to control it now. Nice. Okay. A good exercise to practice is to play what Carmine Caruso calls the seconds, which are diatonic seconds. It's a bit of a strenuous exercise, so you might want to do it maybe once or twice, or if you're feeling good, maybe 3 times a week. Horn is on your chops, and you breathe through the nose. About that volume, and you go up as high as you can until like nothing comes out.
Okay.
So let's say you get to a point where it's like, and that starts to happen, then that's when you would take the horn off your chops and maybe a little flutter. And then I would have you do a pedal tone exercise as a recovery. After maybe 15 or 20 seconds of rest. And try to play it down as low as you can go. Every day a little bit of work, you know, but if you can get a nice F or E, just hang out there for a while. And just let your chops just relax. You know, after doing that, it's like a stretch. You know, like if you're in the gym and you know, put the weight down and maybe stretch it out. You know who Wayne Bergeron is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I remember seeing a video where he talks about everybody can play these notes. You know, we just got to find them. You know, so doing exercises like this is what our chops are essentially doing. We're finding where these notes are on our chops. You know, I practice this sort of stuff every day. There's other aspects to playing the trumpet that I deem not more valuable, but just things that, like, you know, being able to have a beautiful tone, like you have a really nice sound. So we want to continue to develop that articulation, flexibility, and range is just something that is a part of that. You know, so it should be an extension of your musical expression. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, man.
Yeah. Is that a Bach?
It's a Bach, yeah,
Nice.
it's a Bach Strad.
37?
37, yeah.
Nice. What are you working on? How can I help you today?
The process of the
Yeah.
trumpet, I've just been, I mean, you know, trying to, all the stuff, but range, just trying to expand it and feel comfortable in it.
Do you practice up there, like improvising?
Yeah,
Up there?
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
More now than I used to. I used to be a little bit more afraid of that range, and, you know, it's still like
I hear you.
a little bit scary, but it's like, yeah, more now for sure, yeah.
Sure. So what is the top of your range at this point?
Comfortably, I can play C, D, good day. Most of the time in E flat, good day I could play E, but, you know, up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever start your lines from up there and come down?
Yeah, I've been trying to, because for a while, I mean, I've like building it from the bottom and then doing up there. But lately, I've been working a lot with my other teacher about like doing that and then also starting up there, because then just like making sure you have that focus. So yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. Can you play like a chromatic scale or something?
Sure.
Play me something.
Just going up.
Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah, very good. Just be careful that we're not pressing.
Yeah.
We want to make
Yeah.
sure it's regulated. You know,
Yeah,
we don't
yeah,
want to
yeah.
just keep pressing until our lips are flapping at the at the end of our bell. You know, keep practicing those sorts of things. I mean, you do the lip flexibilities
Yeah,
and actually tonguing up there, like playing. Like really soft. That's gonna help you to own the note. If you can tongue it, the note is yours.
Yeah.
That's always been like the rule of thumb, right? Everybody has a cap on their range, right? I've heard that before. But you know, I think everybody should be able to play to at least a high G,
Yeah.
an A, you know.
Yeah.
You know, just so we can expand our voice.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
while we're playing, we want to have that extra room up there to express what needs to be expressed in that
Sure, yeah.
moment.
If you're having like an off day where things don't feel centered, or like things aren't feeling focused up there, like what are the main things like that you'll do to try to get that centered?
Usually a lot of fluttering
Okay.
to make sure that we're getting rid of any of that lactic acid. And then just whisper tones and bends. You know, that tends to focus the aperture and the sound, you know. If I'm feeling a little spread, I'll just come in. Other things like that at the beginning of the day, just to kind of bring it in. And then just a few minutes of that sort of those sort of exercises, you know, starts to kind of starts to feel familiar.
Yeah.
And then I'll go into there's like these Caruso bends. Till I get to the octave below. So that's part A of that exercise. Part B would be. I usually just do G and C, you know, just stay
Yeah.
there and just really nice and focused.
Yeah.
Get the sound going, you know.
Yeah. One thing I find is that when I'm playing stuff that I know, or even improvising, like things will feel good. But sometimes when I'm reading something that's totally new to me, I don't know what it sounds like. What do you do to try to focus, to like make sure you're being efficient while you're still like having to take in this new information and read it and play it?
Redirecting the focus to my ear. If I feel like, you know, if I'm doing this and I'm reading, I'm like, oh man, what's going on here?
Yeah.
You straighten out and just, you know, and then, you know, focus on the music. But I don't want to think about the trumpet when I'm playing.
Sure,
You know,
yeah.
we do that when we're practicing and we're, you know, we're analyzing when, you know, my fingers look. Maybe I love to practice in front of a mirror so I can see what's going on, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So we practice the technique in the practice room, and when I'm reading something for the first time, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do, and not thinking about it. But if I catch myself like something's not right, I backtrack. I say, well, what is it? Your posture usually fixes everything. Air fixes everything. Now it's time for my lesson. Give him the microphone and point the camera on him. Yeah, dude, what's up, man?
How are you, man?
Great, man. Good to see you.
You too, man.
Thanks for coming.
Of course, man.
Monette,
Yeah.
Shilky?
Oh, yeah.
Now, is the bulk of your work mostly just jazz playing, or is it like a mixture of lead and...
Well, I like to say I'm like a middle relief, lead trumpet player. I'm good for like 2 or 3 innings. Otherwise, if that's all I'm gonna do, then don't give me any solos.
Gotcha, right.
Because like the sound changes when you're kind of focusing on that sound.
It wasn't until this January I got called to do a lead gig, which is super rare for me. It was in Panama with Billy Cobham big band, like with some Panamanian cats. So I was like, sure, I'd love to do it. So I pulled out my Bobby Shoe Z horn, and I was like, well, I'm definitely not going to play the gig on the 3C, the whole gig, because I saw the music and it was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's very demanding. And
Right.
So I called up Shoe and he gave me some pointers, and he's like, first thing you got to do, man, is get a mouthpiece that's comfortable, that's going to help with.
It's all about the rim, right? If you can find the rim, that's kind of like the the perfect fit, like the perfect fitting shoe, and then everything else is kind of going to tell you what you can do, right? I don't know if you think of it that way.
Well, I definitely think of trying to get the rim that's comparable to what my normal everyday rim, and just try to find something that's that's not too shallow, where I can bottom out, and nothing that's like too deep for the gig. Something right in the middle that can grip, and do that whole thing.
Yeah.
But then I run into like Juan Munguia, who was the guy who replaced Arturo Sandoval in Iraquere. Did some gigs together, and I asked him, because I have all those records. I said, "Man, what were you playing back then?" He's like, "Oh no, it was a Vincent Bach 3C." You played, because he was playing all the first trumpet part of, all that crazy music. And I was like, "Man, you did all of that in a 3C?" He goes, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, no, not anymore. Now I'm a little bit older, so I use this muff. But back then it was a 3C. Yeah, I did everything." And I was like, "Jesus." So I'm like, it can be done,
I try to tell my students, it's like when you're playing high, still think low. And it's like, well, what do you mean? It's like, well, think about how relaxed your body is when you're playing in the lower register, and you try to tell a young player, an inexperienced player, that like when you're ascending, you don't want to go with the note. You just want to stay kind of like grounded, like your whole body's just like an oak tree, like sitting in the ground. The roots are there. That tree is not going to fall over. You have no foundation. You're just going to fall over.
Sure.
There's no stability up there.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I
mean, I always kind of was good at pedal tones, but for some reason, when I would go up, I wouldn't use my bottom lip, and that's the anchor, Once I figured or learned that, I said, okay, and that changed the game for me.
Yeah, I learned that from Carl Saunders, a guy out of L.A.
Sure.
Yeah. He would talk about just dig in. You could that bottom lip can take a lot more damage.
Sure.
You don't want any sort of like obstruction on the top lip, right?
Right.
So he would do like the free buzz. He goes, as an example.
Yeah.
Like pressing on the bottom lip and the top lip will keep vibrating. Now it's just trying to get my kids to understand how to get a full breath and when to breathe. Yeah. Be ready to play before you're even ready to play.
Sure. You gotta open it up and hear it. You gotta hear it, or else it won't come out.
When I'm trying to go through exercises with my kids, it's kind of like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like, no. It's like you have your preparatory measuring. You just want to be like 1, 2, set. And then you're there. It's kind of like Mr. Miyagi stuff. It's like, why do you have me like, painting the fence the whole time?
Yeah,
why do you have me waxing the car? And you need to know those motions. That way you don't have to think about it up there, right?
Sure. And even incorporating bends. Like for me, bends has been like, man, life-saving. Like playing scales without fingers, These are beasts. But to really get that aperture control and air. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I the times I try those, it sounds really bad. So
trust me, it sounds really bad.
I'm not giving
you
y'all any footage of that.
Hi everyone, it's Terrence Blanchard. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos and concerts we post every week, you can support this work by becoming an SFJAZZ member. Members are the heartbeat of SFJAZZ, our superfans who love and celebrate this music. Yes, members get some cool perks too. But members really fuel everything we do at SFJAZZ. All the education programs we do in the community and at our building. All the world premieres and boundary-pushing programs that happen on our stage. And of course, all the videos and concerts you can now watch on SFJAZZ at home, bringing access around the world. We hope you join. It's easy to sign up. You know what to do.